it's Amanda.
Hey guys, it's Alex. This is Night of the Batman.
Okay, so sorry for this last episode of the year being so late. We are reviewing the Christmas special, Batman Santa Claus, Silent Night.
And this is our first Christmas special, I think, for Night of the Batman. I don't think I did a Christmas special in the past, so it's the first for us on here too. So yeah, guys.
Yeah. So jokes aside, so we are reviewing the Batman Santa Claus Silent Night. It's a 4-issue holiday special. It's super good. So before I get into spoilers, I would recommend reading this. I think it's got something for everybody, and it definitely has a lot of fun cameos and just the reactions everybody has to realizing Santa's real. I think the characterization of Krampus and the way that they portray Damien as still kind of being a kid is really enjoyable.
It's nice when they remember stuff like that.
Well, that Damien's a kid?
Yeah, they're just in general, because sometimes I feel like, and I was talking to you, and this is kind of like, recently you got me for Christmas, the Death in the Family book, and I was telling you that, like, sometimes we forget that, like in that one with Jason, that, like, the Robins are, most of the time, like, little kids, and they're not...
They're children.
They're not drawn like that all the time. Sometimes, like, depending on the artist, sometimes they draw them like full-grown men. So, like, it's like you have that separation sometimes where it's like you're not, like, in your mind you have that little bit of separation where you're like, that's not a kid. Or you're not thinking about, like, oh, this is a kid. But, like, whenever it's pointed out, it's one of those, like, oh, yeah, like, whenever the writers will remember, the artists will remember, be like, yeah, like, Robin's a kid, like, lean into some of that sometimes. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, I agree. I am really excited to delve into the summary.
Yeah.
So,
I know it's your favorite
instead
part.
Of going, which part?
The summary. I know you like doing that.
Yeah.
Or at least you've done it a lot. I don't know if it's your favorite thing.
It's my podcast. So I gotta do the summary because it's my podcast. And it means I get to talk. And at risk of sounding very vain, I actually genuinely enjoy the sound of my own voice. Like, I talk to myself all the time. You're laughing.
No, I didn't know what you were going to say. That's funny. Anyway, you're one of the few. I feel like a lot of people don't enjoy the sound of their own voice. But,
well, if you don't like how you sound, change how you sound. You can change the pitch of your voice.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Okay. I digress. Let's move forward. I got it.
She was trying to lock my phone so she could... We're doing this digitally. I forget if we had mentioned that before, but we're doing this digitally since they came out so soon. I don't think... Well, we could get the individual issues, but, like, it was just easier to go digital this time.
I'll swing by my 7th grade science teacher's comic book shop and pick up the individual issues if he still has them later. Love that man.
So you enjoyed it then?
I did. Okay. So, first issue, they are fighting my kinfolk, and by kinfolk I mean vampires, because Girly Pop has a garlic allergy. Fun fact. What?
You're just funny. Keep going.
Yeah, so Damien and Bruce show up and are like, trying to fight these vampires, and then Zeus had called for backup. Zatanna shows up. She's like, bro, these things haven't been seen in like thousands of years. I don't know what they're doing. And then Santa shows up and kills them with wood because he's Santa. Freaking love Santa. This Santa is cool. He's a cool Santa. Like, not like a cool dad, but like a cool Santa. Like, he's badass.
Yeah, I like this Santa a lot.
So, from there, they get Barbara and Dick to help kind of defeat the vampires. Then Zatanna, when trying to figure something out, she gets poisoned by this, like, flowery thing.
Was this the first comic you've read with Zatanna in it? Because I know you've seen her in other media. Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, she's great.
Except for Smallville Zatanna. She's like, I don't like her as much. She's kind of creepy, predatory.
Yeah, we'll get it. That's our own separate thing. If you guys know, you know. There's her and Clark. It's weird. Anyway.
So, it's gross.
Yeah, it is pretty gross.
So, Santa takes her to his workshop for his elves, which aren't really elves, but for his elves to sort of like heal. And he hears laughing, and oh my god, it's Krampus, who turns out to have been his partner at another time. And he leaves him with a box, and he goes off to try to find Krampus.
Yeah.
So, before she got poisoned, Zatanna had sent the rest of the vampires to another place on the opposite side of the world. So, second issue, you have the Bat Fam reliving Santa's memories and, like, kind of walking through it. It's reminiscent of something I've seen before in media multiple times.
Attack on Titan.
Well, yeah, not just on Attack on Titan. That was just the first thing I can think of. But I feel like it's a common, like, thing.
Yeah.
And, like, even in, like, the, was it Fox that did Anastasia?
I don't know this. What is that?
Anastasia, the movie?
The Fox that...
Fox?
Oh,
Fox. Fox.
Like the media. I thought you meant like...
20th Century Fox.
Thought you meant like a fox like in a movie that was about Anastasia did that. I was about to be so confused. So I was like, what? But yeah, you're right. You're right.
With like the, all the people dancing with her. I don't know. Oh, I don't know if y'all heard. That was Ziggy begging for attention outside our door.
We see her little shadow, but we'll let her in after we record.
But
otherwise she'll just keep talking the whole time.
She's gonna keep talking the whole time.
You can barely hear her. Anyway.
But so they realize that Santa has these weird connections to like the Norse mythology, that he was a woodsmith.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a woodsman. Shout out Klaus.
The movie we haven't watched. We watched in the past. That's a really good movie, by the way. If you guys haven't, if you guys haven't seen it, I think it's still on Netflix. It's like it's like kind of a 2D animated thing. It kind of looks like it's traditionally animated, but it's really good. Like you should check it out. Like just look up Claus. You'll cry your eyes out. It'd be great. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I watch it when I need to feel something.
It's really good.
Yeah. So, you then find out that a lot of these people had these godlike creatures, I guess god creatures had been set loose in the world, and a bunch of huntsmen and woodsmen went to gather them. Klaus was the last one, and the bridge to I feel like it's Asgard. I don't know why. I should probably
Did they say? I feel like they might have said that. Yeah, or implied it maybe.
Yeah.
I think it might have been implied.
What was the bridge called?
In what?
The Asgardian bridge. No, that's...
You're thinking Thor right now.
Yes. But, okay, so that's why Okay, so reading this, I was very confused because it kept referencing Norse mythology. And, in my head, anytime I hear Norse mythology, I think Marvel Thor. And so I was really confused. But I am less confused now because DC does not have Thor. So yes, he is connected.
As far as I know,
he is connected to the Norse mythology, and which makes sense because Germanic legend, Krampus. So the last what's been left was Santa. Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Klaus went to collect the rest of the monsters or god creatures. So one of the ones he comes across is a trickster. And he thinks the trickster is going to eat a child, but he just wants to scare the child. And it's so precious. So they become friends and partners, and they get the rest of the monsters together. And then they try to make villages better by teaching kids that it's bad to be naughty, and that if they're naughty, they should fear what's going to happen, which isn't the best lesson in the world. You should not make a person better by fear.
Yeah.
I have conflicting emotions about that. However, they do end up making better generations of people.
It's probably why he retired. In actual, I say actual, in the real world. It's probably why people moved away from like Krampus after a while. It's like let's retire this, and like it's just coal, so it's not really that bad.
So, Krampus being a wild spirit.
Have we established what Krampus is for people that might not know?
Oh yeah, so Krampus is kind of like the anti-Santa in some mythologies, like more, if I'm not mistaken, like not Scandinavian, but like, what would you call it?
As Germanic, mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
Like he comes and takes bad children, and say in some versions he puts them in like a wicker basket, then drowns them in the river. So like that's a version of it. This version's much more.
Some he eats children.
Much more just fear based in this one.
Yeah. So this Krampus was actually like not a bad person. He was just a trickster.
Yeah.
And he he would kidnap the kids and terrorize them by saying that they couldn't go back home, that he was gonna drown them in the river. And then Santa would have him release them. Basically like a good cop, bad cop.
Or bad
scheme.
cop, badder cop is what they said in the thing, I think.
And then the kids would be like, we'll be good. And then they would be good. Because they were afraid that Krampus was gonna, eat them.
Yeah.
And it eventually got to the point where after the kids had kids, their kids were good. Because they were afraid of Krampus. And so Krampus wasn't really needed. And so he felt obsolete and unimportant, and his role was kind of done. So he, at one point, kidnapped a kid, and when they asked where he was, he told them that he'd eaten them, and he hadn't. He was playing a trick on Klaus, and Klaus then sent him. So they had sent all of the monsters to like this in-between world, which, spoiler alert, we later find out is also the Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
So, not a good place to be, y'all.
And I don't know if we established this already. You might have mentioned it before, but since I've peek behind the curtain, this is our second recording. Anyway, so we were talking about how Santa trained Batman, and I think Ben had told me that before, like in a direct message before I'd gotten into reading it. And I was like, oh, I don't know about that, but like this Santa's kind of like cool, and like you said before, like kind of a badass. So like it works for this version. He's not to the point where he doesn't even resemble Santa at all anymore, which I kind of appreciate. Like sometimes when they're writing stuff, they'll do that where like they go so far in the other direction that the character is almost unrecognizable. So I'm kind of glad that like it still felt like Santa while still being like all badass and stuff. And then I'll let you get back to your summary stuff.
Yep. Okay. So we realized that Krampus did not actually eat the children. He was just hiding them.
Yeah.
They find them. And Santa Claus goes back to try to get his friend back because he feels so guilty for, doing that to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't find him. He's gone. So he, goes about his life and his business and, lets Christmas be Christmas. Taking toys to children and all that fun stuff. And, they're done. Then they get their friends together. We see... Also, this is chock full of cameos, which is just one reason to watch it, because you get to watch all of these superheroes realize that Santa is real and have these wonderful childlike reactions to Santa is real. Like Dick Grayson was like, "Oh my God, you used to tell me that you like went on adventures with Santa. You were being serious. I thought you were just trying to make me believe in Santa."
Yeah, it's kind of nice. In a like in a world like where there's like aliens and all these other crazy things, they've traveled to other worlds and other dimensions, that like Santa still blows their mind. And a way that they do that, or like one of the ways they get their minds blown, or like they see that it's actually Santa, I don't know if we've said this yet in the summary, is like he'll just like say their, like if they're in costume, he'll say their actual like civilian name and then rattle off like their address and everything, which I thought was like kind of cool, and like a cool thing that like a cool shorthand to show like he's legit. And then you were gonna
yes.
Yeah.
I can multitask, baby.
Yeah, she's texting right now. But
Sorry, we have so we are going to Ichiban Con and Concord for 2 weekends this month, and I am talking to my baby cousin about our cosplay plans.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the episode.
Yeah. So
Hold on.
it was quick, or if I had to.
I like my phone. But yeah, anyway, that's another, I guess, look behind the curtain. But yeah, if you guys are at Ichiban Con, if anyone listening to this at Ichiban Con wants to say hey or anything, feel free to say hey. We'll probably be dressed up. At least one day we're going to be dressed up as Green Arrow and Black Canary. So if you see 2 people dressed up like that, it's probably us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
And then if you see Kyojiro Rengoku and Mitsuri walking around with a really cool Zenitsu cosplayer, it's also probably us and our friend Aaron.
Yeah. I just wanted to couch it in something that people that are DC fans might actually know what I'm talking about if I said it.
Sorry.
You're good.
Anyway, so So we see, speaking of Black Canary and Green Arrow, you see them and Miss Marvel finishing off the vampires.
Miss Martian.
What did I say? Miss
Marvel? I just wanted to catch it before, I was going back and, being wait.
Yeah.
Because I do that all the time, too. Miss Martian.
I'm buffering. I'm blanking.
And they were...
Megan!
Yeah.
Megan.
Okay, I didn't know where you were going, so I couldn't really help you.
I'm sorry. If any of you guys ever buffer, then you know what I mean. So then Batman and the Bat Fam goes to help Santa Claus find Klaus. And the 3rd issue, we see Hawk Girl and Wonder Woman.
That was cool. I don't see Hawk Girl a lot in, a lot of, modern day comics, I feel like. So it was really nice seeing her. Obviously, I'm a fan of her from Justice League. But like you said, it's more of a DC... It says Batman on the title, but it's more of, a DC universe, story, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know this particular Green Lantern's name, but she's a lady.
It's okay. I don't really know. She's newer, so she's one of the more new Green Lanterns. But she did good. I mean, for the brief scenes I saw her, and I enjoyed her character. So
they're dealing with harpies, and they're trying to get Hawk Girl to get the harpies to calm down, and she's like, I don't speak their language, and
I'm not a bird person.
And Diana's like, I speak their language. I'm old, I'm cool, I'm hip with it. And so she gets peace with all of them, and they go roost somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's resolved pretty quickly and pretty peacefully, which I think is really cool.
Wonder Woman's the best.
They then all meet up together because they're helping Santa. And they fight this massive sea serpent, which was rad.
That was so random, but kind of fun.
And we see Superman. Superman shows up. We love Superman! They fight a bunch of other monsters. And Superman gets possessed. Oh, we also see Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
And they're all super excited because Santa knows who they are. Santa's making all these references to their childhoods. And they're just Santa! They're so starstruck. It's adorable.
I think Blue Beetle's a little offended, though, too. Because he's just you just brought me over here just to, find trees or something. And Batman, I don't think, says anything back to him. But, yeah. Thought that was, there's a lot... It's really humorous. It's really well-written, character stuff. That's why you should read this, is for the story's good, too, don't get me wrong. The mythology and stuff, but the character stuff is great in this. I'll be watching Jeff Parker closer now. I don't know that writer from anything else, but I like what I read.
I also just realized that it's kind of a double joke, because you have Dark Knight, but it's Silent Night.
Oh, yeah.
And Silent Night, the song Silent Night, but then Dark Night, because it's spelled night with a K.
I was just thinking of him being silent and brooding kind of thing. It's Silent Night.
I swear I notice things sometimes, and I think I should have noticed right off the bat, and I feel so silly and unobservant, but like it's chill. It's chill.
Are you hard on yourself because you went to school for this? I'm not being mean to her. It's just something she says all the time. Like, that's not... Guys, I'm not attacking her. That's just stuff that she says. She's like, it's not like I'm an English major.
No, I make jokes all the time. Sometimes my brain won't be working the way I want it to work, and I'm like, I can't read, and I will be like dead serious. Like, my eyes won't focus enough for me to like actually read. I'll be like, I can't read. I just have an English degree. So
yeah, but
so yes, I am being hard on myself because I feel like I'm supposed to notice all this stuff immediately because I literally have a degree in it.
Yeah.
Literary studies.
But yeah. Were we on issue 4?
We're about to be.
Okay.
So, Satana's still out of the picture because she's getting, healed. They're all working with Santa. Santa's a badass.
Yeah, he is. He's really good in this, guys.
Then Krampus comes, gets Superman. Superman becomes possessed. Krampus steals Damien and runs off. So so the people who aren't there with fighting with them at this point in time. Mm-hmm. So the people who are with Santa right now would be Green Arrow, Black Canary, Miss Martian, Superman, the Bat Fam. So like Dick, Barbara, Bruce, Damien, except Damien gets kidnapped.
And
Blue Beetle. And then we find that trees are really important and that trees were used as like keystones, and he also has like stuff that were used as like keystones to like access different places.
And also hear the children's wishes though too.
Yes, that comes out to issue 4.
Oh, oops, sorry guys.
Yeah,
it's just I heard tree stuff and I was like, yeah, there was that too.
So they are struggling at the beginning of issue 4. Damien's trapped and he's stuck in this like gnome hall and all the gnomes are dead and Krampus is having this big internal battle with himself and this weird possessy thing.
It's literally like a
spirit.
Yeah, it's literally like a shadow self, and that's or what we think is like his shadow self, like that old like metaphor. It's like yourself versus like your shadow self, that kind of thing.
And you find out it's just a spirit from the Phantom realm.
Is it 2 of them or is that?
No, 2 of them took over.
Tell me, Sean. I keep stepping over your toes. Just so you keep going. I'll wait till you get out the part I think you're gonna say.
Sorry, I'm just gonna put my hand over your mouth because I love you. So, anyways. So we see that Superman's struggling, and so Superman's fighting against them, which is why they're struggling so much. So they have all of these monsters, and on top of that, they're trying to fight Superman. Batman's like, I got a contingency. He's like, yo, Blue Beetle, go take him down. So Blue Beetle can create krypton radiation, or kryptonite radiation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, words hard.
You're good. They knew what you meant.
Yes. So or
I did. That's all that matters.
So Blue Beetle, oh, you love me.
No, just for the. I meant for the purposes of this podcast to keep going. I knew what you meant.
You don't love me?
I do love you. Yeah,
okay.
Keep going.
So he creates kryptonite radiation. I'm sorry, I'm not a DC girly, but I be trying. So anyway, and eventually he gets the spirits to leave Superman because they're like, oh my god, they're gonna kill this guy so that we can't fight. And then they like leave and they evaporate because they can't latch onto anything. And then Wonder Woman and the other flying girlies show up and help them defeat all of them. And I actually love that moment because Dick Grayson is like in snow and Wonder Woman pulls him up and she's like, I'm so sorry that it took us so long. And he's like, it's fine. I'm just happy we're good. I'm just happy you're here. And it was Dick Grayson, and I loved it.
That was a good moment. Yeah, I like that.
I literally, while I was reading it, I looked over to Alex, and I, like, tapped his chest, and I was like, my mans.
Yeah.
Which, I do that it's an inside joke. It's like a reference to our friends. One of our friends.
Oh, okay, that's what it is? I didn't know. I thought that's just something you started doing.
No, Sarah, anytime we bring up little blonde boy, she'll be like, my mans.
I didn't know that was the reason you did it, though. I thought it was just something you picked up from somewhere.
No, it's a reference to our friend Sarah.
Alright, anyway. Shout out to Sarah, I guess.
Yeah. We love you. I miss you.
Have you?
So, anyways, we, they, defeat the guys, and some of the other monsters have headed to the workshop, and they're like, oh, we need to go, Superman is revived and okay. And they're like, we gotta go defend your workshop, Santa. And Santa's like, I can't.
He had two spirits in him, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
And that's how they kind of put two and two together.
And,
that Krampus must be possessed.
yeah, well, not even just that. That's also how they realized it was the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, I was just like, because we already kind of touched over that, but just for, storyline cohesion, I guess.
So anyway, Santa's like, I have to go save this child for this man whose wish I could never grant. Which, you would assume it's to bring his parents back to life, which is so upsetting. They didn't have to put that in there, but they did.
That's what that was. I was having because, sorry guys, like, look behind the curtain, been sick a lot recently, so, like, I had to speed read this one a little bit, and so, like, I was kind of like, oh, what does that mean? But then, like, I got it at the end, kind of thing, like, he was gonna give him Damien back because he wasn't able to.
He wanted his family back, and he wasn't able to give him back his
and
family.
I'm like, that was a good moment that took me until, like, now to 100%, like, really, because I kind of, like, got it, like 50%, but, like, I like that a lot. That was.
I really wish we did
video
moment. Because I feel like my reactions are so much better when you can see them.
I mean, we can do video. We can talk about that for the new year.
Yeah. So anyway, they go to the gnome hall. That Santa says how he uses trees for a lot of stuff because he's a woodman, and it talks to him, and you realize the trees literally talk to him. And having a tree in your home is how he was able to hear the children's wishes. Precious.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah. So he goes in, and they save Damien because Damien realized that if he acts like the children did in the memories, then Krampus would let him go. And so he's just like, I'll be good. I promise I'll be good. I want my dad. Get me back to my dad. I want to go home. I want to go to my dad. Daddy's boy. And, Krampus is having this, like, big internal conflict. And so when the others get there, like, his whole family's here, and Claus is like, his family's here to take him home. He said he'll be good. He said he'll change. He won't be naughty anymore. Let him go home. And Krampus eventually lets him go home, and he, like, banishes the spirit himself.
Yeah.
With the help of, like, Damien acting out the part that he needed to act out. And what I thought was really cool is when they were at the tree, you could, like, hear them, like, they could hear Damien, doing that versus, like, he's acting. I can tell he's acting. But,
yeah.
But he's a smart kid. I'm glad he's doing that.
Jeff Parker really nails, like, you can tell that he really understands the characters of the DC universe and really nails, like, it's hard to do, like, nail their individual voices. And, like, he's got a good handle for all of them. Like, I read these, and like you said earlier, like, I would like an animated version of this. Just, one, because it's a great story, but two, just because of some of the visuals and the elements in this. Like, this would translate really well to animation. Like good animation, not some of the other stuff they've been doing recently. But,
hey, Merry Little Batman was good.
I just meant more traditional looking, but I wasn't really talking about that. I was talking about their Tomorrowverse stuff, but
yeah. So
yeah. Anyway, what were you saying?
They save Damien. Krampus comes back. Claus is happy because, like, he has his friend back. They get back to the sleigh, and it's almost midnight. It's almost Christmas, and so he's talking to Damien, and he says that he remembers the letter Damien wrote, and they're like, whoa, you wrote Santa a letter? Because everybody was so shocked.
When I was 5.
He was like, I was 5.
Yeah.
He's like, and I asked for a satellite that could destroy my enemies, and I never got it. And Santa's like, you also never got a childhood. You want to come right on the sleigh
That's
with
another
me?
real line
And
that
I
was just like, bro,
ooh,
easy.
ooh. Like, yeah, so
It's
Santa's
really great,
like,
though. Really nice.
Yeah, Santa was like, let's fix that. Come right on the sleigh with me and help me give out these presents, and come with me and Krampus. And then he sent all the superheroes to his workshop to eat and drink and be merry. and no time would pass. So they had a few hours of reprieve and able to like relax and be happy and be guilt-free about it, because when they left the workshop, time would be where it was.
There's a moment in this before we completely like do the wrap up part of this that I wanted to read or just like get right, because there's like a moment before what you were saying where like Santa is talking to each of the heroes about like, because Damien has this moment where he's just like, well, why do you still do this? Like, he's just like, here it is. He's like, you created the tradition, or I'll read this before. It's like, Santa's talking. He's like, this night grew beyond me ages ago, but I still can make a few stops. He's like, but why? He's like, child asks why I bring gifts. And he's like, you created the tradition. It all happens anyway, so why do you still go out? And then Batman answers, because he's driven. He can never stop seeing the child who needed the gift. There is much truth in that. That's what Santa says back. And then Wonder Woman says he can't stop because he seeks out the good. That's hope. And then he says, Diana, you were born wise. And then
God, that worked so.
No, listen. As always, the mighty one is quiet, is what Santa's saying. But I want to hear what you think, Clark. Why do I do it? He's like, for yourself. You do it for you, because nothing feels better than giving. And then, like, he just taps, like, his nose twice, like he famously does. And, like, you hear, like, a jingle thing. And he's like, and then, like, that other thing you said before. But I thought it was really nice that he kind of had that moment where, like, each character, and this goes back to what I said before, that each character totally in character answers, and it totally, like, why they, like, what their projection on Santa of why they think he does what he does. Mm-hmm. And it totally fits with all of them, and it was, like, a really small moment, but for me, I was like, sometimes in comics, like, that's the moments I screenshot to like look back at, and the moments I kind of like read comics for are those little moments. So like I thought that was really great, and then seeing them kind of all have like a moment's peace at the end where they were all just enjoying each other, enjoying each other's camaraderie and everything, like, was really nice. And then did you have any, I have some other things that I want to say before the end, but did you have any like highlights you wanted to go over too, or
so I think my favorite out of the issues was the last issue. My favorite moments were definitely, I enjoyed the moment between Wonder Woman and Dick Grayson. I also like just the whole like shift to being like a Damien focused story. I think it was really cute. I would actually enjoy probably reading more of like more stories that focused on like the family dynamic as opposed to like the crime fighting stuff. So I don't talk about a lot on this podcast. I talk about it on What Mean More. I'm not actually a big fan of action stuff. I think a lot of action is boring. I care more about character driven stuff, and
fair
character like development. And so, an example is whenever I rewatch Naruto, a lot of the times I will skip to the filler stuff that just like explores characters more than the actual like fight scenes.
The narrative itself,
yeah.
Usually. Yeah. I mean, like, teach their own.
Yeah. So if I'm looking forward to when we review the Bat-Fam comics that I got you.
Oh yeah, that, by the way, that's like a preview for the future, but we got some comics. We'll go over it in the future, but
all he got for Christmas this year was like Batman comics.
One of them was so she'd have a physical release of like City of Owls, which is like the follow up to the Court of Owls stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, look forward to that next year, guys. Back to the story. One of the aspects I liked, and I was waiting till the end because I didn't want to step on your toes for like the description or anything. But a lot of the times in stories like this, like they'll make Krampus kind of look like horrific and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he doesn't look like pretty in this or anything, but I think like something artistically I appreciated that the artist did was that they made him look like convincingly enough, like kind of like kids might be a little frightened by him, but like you could see it's like he kind of looks like a dog or something. Like when you really look at his character design, like he kind of looks like a dog kind of thing and how he carries himself.
Right.
It's kind of like a pet almost.
Yeah, he's cute.
Yeah, so like you kind of like it's easier to get you on his side and everything. And I was kind of rooting for the little guy. He'd been through a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I really like this story. I didn't know what to expect, honestly. Whenever it's a mixed bag with like sometimes when you read something that's Santa related, where they try to mix like the DC universe with like Santa Claus, and like I'm glad. I mentioned this before, but I'll mention this again. That they seem to be this year. We didn't read the other stuff that was Santa based, but like there's other books that also have Santa in them. That I think that's a really cool tradition. I'm glad that they're doing that again, because I know back in the day they used to do stuff like this a lot. So I'm kind of glad that they're bringing that back. It's always kind of fun. I feel like we don't have as many Christmas special-y things as we used to when I felt like we were younger, where everything had a Christmas special. Like all your favorite TV shows at least had one Christmas episode of it. But I enjoyed this. It was definitely like a fun surprise. We don't really do ratings here, but I would recommend this. And you'll be done with it pretty quickly. It's like 4 issues, so you probably knock that out, depending on how quick you are. For me, it took me a little bit longer because of extenuating circumstances, but for you guys, it probably won't take you that long.
Yeah, I think it's a good read. I would definitely give it a glance if you have the time and you just kind of want to.
Yeah, well,
I would recommend.
Yeah.
I would recommend. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Apologies.
If you want to, but
If
yeah,
you wanna, you don't have to, but like
that's
you
so funny.
should.
But yeah, this has been a great first year of the, and I know I kind of did this before, but I'll say this again: a good first year of Night of the Batman. We have even more excitement next year. More great guests and everything, as I went over before. More great stories to get into. This is just the beginning, guys. So I appreciate you guys who have listened so far and have enjoyed it. If you want to recommend any future stories for us or just any future things to cover, we're always open to suggestions. So either send it through there's a thing on Spotify you can send. It's like a Q&A thing. Or I can put in the description like either a link to our social media, which has recently popped up on Instagram. I recently made a page for it. Or you can email me, and I will include an email in the description. So, yeah.
That reminds me, you should follow us on socials. On Instagram, it is Night of the Batman.
Yeah, Night of the Batman pod, I think. We'll have it in the description. But yeah, anyway.
I was gonna try.
Well, go ahead. What were you going to try to say?
It's fine. I don't need any more followers on my cosplay. It's fine.
Anyway, do you want me to? I can
It's
put you
fine.
on blast.
I'm okay.
Alright, anyway.
Thank you for listening. Have a very happy...
I wasn't done. I was gonna say, thank you for listening. This is it, because you threw off my whole, like, sentence thing. Thank you for, this is live podcasting, guys, but yeah, thank you for listening. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone out there, and yeah, you do your thing.
Anyway, thank you for listening. Happy New Year. Here's to 2024. I'm Amanda, and this has been Night of the Batman.
And I'm Alex, and this has been Night of the Batman.
We'll come up with an outro later.
Alright, guys. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.